Dear Diary, today is my first day journaling and I have no idea what the F I am doing.
What's going on, everyone? In this video we're going to be talking about journaling, and the reason why I really want to upload this on my channel, on this channel in particular, is to highlight the importance of journaling in managing chronic pain. When you're going through chronic pain, you're going to go through different emotions, you're going to feel like each day is different, you're going to struggle to identify triggers, you're going to struggle to really have a day-to-day routine in life. And this is why journaling can be so powerful. And in this video, I'm going to share with you tips and tricks that you can do on how to journal, but also the benefits of journaling. The video was uploaded in my other channel, so make sure you check that out. But I'm going to reshare it on this channel, so keep watching. And I hope this video helps in really understanding your pain, understanding why it's there, understanding triggers, and helping manage that pain. Thank you. So I've been journaling for around 6 to 7 years now. I started because back in the day I was sitting in my friend's car, and that time I was very frustrated with life. I didn't know where I was going. I felt kind of lost and I couldn't really express myself as much to my friends or the people around me. And my friend suggested, why don't you start journaling? So I did, and I remember the first time I started, I was literally like, Dear Diary, and then that's it. I just didn't know what to write about, and it only took me several months of practice to really get into the flow, to build the habits of what to write about and how to do it. And over the years, it's literally transformed my life. It's been a small addition to my daily life, but been a significant one. So in this video, I'm going to go through different stages and how you can start journaling and the benefits of start journaling. And if you're wondering, does it work, does it not work, literally, I've got a bundle of papers here, and some of these date back to 2013, 12, and literally one of them, the first one I ever ripped, 2014, it literally says, at the bottom, or on the other side of the paper, it literally says, I wish I could express myself more. I wish I could be more confident with myself and get over this anxiety. And literally after all these years, fast forward, and I've been able to manage that. So if you're wondering, can you change your life from journaling? My answer to you is yes, 100%. So keep watching. So you may be wondering, what are the benefits of journaling? Why should I bother journaling? So I used to think the same, and I'm going to go through some benefits now. So first of all, you get to see problems with better clarity. What this means is, often when we have like hundreds of things going through our mind and we're trying to come up with a solution to something, we can overthink, and this can make it really hard to find a solution. But by writing down all your problems out on a piece of paper, literally journaling how you feel around each thought, each problem, over time it can make it easier to build a solution. You can draw links between different problems, you can create a solution for each one and then see which one works the best, as opposed to trying to think of everything in your head. And I don't know about you, but sometimes that can drive me crazy, just completely trying to think of something and really being irritated that I can't find a solution. Whereas writing it all on paper ensures that, one, I don't forget any of the problems and I can find a solution for each one, and it also allows me to just easily process my thoughts. So that's number one. Number two is basically to accept your emotions. And this is why I love journaling, because it's helped me to understand certain emotions and thoughts that I go through on a day-to-day basis that I wasn't aware of before. So often, for example, for feeling really angry and irritated, and you come home, you're in your room and you don't know what to do, you're scrolling to social media trying to find an outlet for this, but the anger's just there and you just can't understand it. What we often do is try and suppress it And like I said, you might go on social media, scroll through and try and numb that feeling. You might go and do some exercise and you might feel better. It might be a healthy outlet, but sometimes there's always that kind of lingering thoughts of why the anger was caused initially, and it might be just in your head. So what journaling does is it allows you to pin it all down to paper. And you may be thinking, what's the point of this? Well, actually, as you do this, as you pin it all down onto paper, you can see each thought and each reason why you're feeling that thought. And you can kind of process it, and it makes this much more easier than you just trying to figure it out in your head. Especially when you're angry. When you're angry, that emotion is so strong, and when you try and process it in your head, it's just often so hard. So journaling just allows you to accept those emotions and connect to yourself better. Literally, each time I've journaled, it's allowed me to connect to myself. It's created more self-awareness about myself, about how I react to certain things, about my behaviors, about my actions, and overall, I can create a better final outcome because I understand those emotions. And number 3, the benefits of journaling are that it allows you to track improvement, track your behaviors and actions in the current moment. So going down the line when you're trying to achieve a goal, when things don't go as planned, when you're not achieving certain things in your life, you can always reflect backwards and look in your journal and be like, okay, so on that day I did that. That clearly didn't help me achieve my end goal. So moving forward, what I'm going to do now is change that action or behavior. So change it to something else that will allow me to get to my end goal. And the positive thing about this is if you couple it with looking at all your positives, you can then create neural pathways inside your brain which allow you to get to your goals faster, and it allows you to see the positive things in your life that are happening right now. So imagine on a day-to-day basis, and perhaps you're recovering from an injury, perhaps you're trying to get to an end goal and it's taking forever. By having that journal, you look back at it and you realize, okay, so even though I feel like I haven't improved that much, actually when you look at my journal and if you look at everything I've been doing per week, I've actually been doing everything I need to do and I've actually improved. And even though I can't see it right now, actually over time I've improved a lot. And that's the great thing about journals. It allows you to look back and realize how far you've come. Because often, especially with this era where you're on social media and everyone's posting everything they're celebrating, everything they're winning at, all their wins, it's easy to forget how far you've come. So journaling allows you to really focus on your wins and really, again, allows you to connect back to yourself and realize the things that you're working at and why you're doing it. So, before you get started to journal, here are some key points that I want you to take in and really acknowledge. Number 1, there's no right way to journal. People will give you ideas, I'm going to give you ideas, but over time you'll learn to adapt it and find a way that helps you. So use this as a stepping tool if you've never started before. If you've already started journaling, maybe use some advice I've given you here, or perhaps just do what you're doing and keep going at it. It's a habit, you need to keep practicing it, but over time you'll get better at it and you'll get better at understanding what you need to do for you to grow. Secondly, whenever you're doing the type of journaling where you're getting out your emotions, don't judge what you're writing. The moment you start judging it, the moment you try to interpret it, what happens is you go into that mindset of thinking, and it makes it harder for you to kind of process what you're writing. So literally, this is what I do and it's helped me. Take a few deep breaths, so deep diaphragmatic breaths. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, I'll be talking about in future videos, but literally hand on your stomach, taking deep breaths in. As you're breathing in, feel your stomach expand. And after a few breaths, just when you start writing, whatever comes out on your head, literally just start, carry on. The moment you don't know what else to write, take another deep breath in. If you need a few more breaths, keep going. And then carry on writing. Don't stop and try and think about how you want yourself to appear on the paper, how you want your emotions to be. Just write down whatever comes to your head straight away. Remember, you don't have to share this with anyone. This is personally for you and your growth. So just write it all out and then try and make sense of it. And number 3, like I said, journaling is a habit. You have to keep going and do this every single day. And I would highly suggest, tip number 4 is to write this on paper. So you can do this on your computer, and yes, you can track progress, you can track growth, but in terms of that healthy outlet for unpleasant emotions, I always find that writing it down is far more powerful than typing it. Writing it down has some sort of power that I like to think, where you just literally just have uncontrolled writing, you just keep going, and you eventually find yourself in flow where you're writing things and you don't even realize. It's like you're writing faster than you're thinking. And trust me guys, even though it sounds supernatural, give it a go, because when you do start doing it and when you do get into that flow mode, you find that when you look back at it, 1, it might not make sense straight away, but as you put things together it will make sense, and 2, it's such a relief to get those emotions out your head and onto paper. So those are my tips. Give it a go. I would highly recommend, if you haven't tried diaphragmatic breathing, giving it a go. I'll try and find a video and link it below. So practice it, take it in, practice diaphragmatic breathing, and then give it a go. And if you have any other tips that you've been doing and you'd like to share, comment below so other people can see. So we've gone to the benefits of journaling. Now let's go through the types of journals and how to do it. So you can have bullet journals, which are basically small booklets where you can just write down things in your head, thoughts in your head. You can write down what you're going to do throughout the day. Or you can have dream journals, which are basically writing down your dreams so you don't forget them, and perhaps even trying to make sense of them. You can have future journals, which are basically writing about your future, where you want to be in the future 5 years down the line. Or you can have journals which are basically where you write down every single feeling, all those unpleasant emotions, get it out from your head and onto paper. So this is actually my favorite type of journaling, because it literally helps you to let go, and it's a healthy outlet to just let any emotions go. So what I would advise you to do now, if you're watching this so far and you've enjoyed it and you want to try out journaling, take this opportunity now to grab yourself a piece of paper, a pen, and basically try out the different journal types. Pause the video when you have to and give it a go. Don't wait till tomorrow, because you might come up with excuses. Give this opportunity now to actually start journaling and give it a go. So there's many ways to get started, but let's start with the most simplest way. And this should take perhaps 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. What you're going to do, you're going to wake up and you're going to write down 3 things you're grateful for. And the key thing is don't make it up. Really just take a deep breath in, feel into it, and think of 3 things you're actually grateful for. The second thing is to write down 3 things you're going to do in that day. 3 important things that you're going to do in that day. And put them in hierarchy, so 1, 2, 3, and then get them done. And the third thing you can do is affirmations, or any thoughts that are coming up in your head that you just want to get onto paper so you don't forget it. Now, at the end of the day, what you want to do is come back and write down 3 things that went well that day. Maybe you accomplished your goals, maybe you didn't. Maybe certain things happened that you're really grateful for. Just write them down. And then 2 things that you can improve on. Perhaps you watched more TV on that day when you could have been more productive. Perhaps you spent a lot of time on social media, so the next day you want to work on that and maybe minimize that. So write those 2 things down, and that's basically kind of like a bullet journal, a few things throughout the day, and it'll allow you to keep reflecting every day and see what you can improve on. The next thing you can kind of journal on is your future. So it's called future journaling, and the idea is seeing who you want to be in 5 years time and jotting down the type of characteristics you want, type of person you want, the things that you want in your life, and really mapping out a clear vision for your next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, however far you want to go. And then you want to break it down and see what you need to do right now in this moment to get you forward. And the idea isn't to just do it and never look at it again. The idea is to come back to it maybe monthly, every 3 months, and see if you're on the right track, see if anything's changed in your life, or see if you've changed your mind and you want to change anything about that future. So that's quite simple future journaling, and you can do it weekly or you can do it monthly. Obviously, the more you do it, the more you can reflect and the more you can change your habits and behaviors so you can adjust accordingly. Now, the next type of journaling is a bit more deep, a bit more emotional, and the idea is to allow you to see your emotions, take them out of your head and pop them down into paper. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off, and what you're going to start by writing is one emotion that you felt today that you felt was unpleasant. So maybe you felt angry, and what you're going to do, you're going to start with, before you do that, you're going to take that deep breath in. I felt angry today because I got told off by my supervisor. Perhaps that's it. So you write that out, and after that, if there's more things coming out, you can start going on. So that was just an example. Perhaps you felt sad, maybe someone told you off, maybe someone lied to you. So you want to start by writing, today I felt sad because XYZ lied to me. And then you want to carry on that flow. So take a deep breath in, and rather than overthinking it, the first thing that comes to your head, I feel silly writing this, but it's because I felt I wasn't good enough for that person. I felt I was stupid and I wasn't achieving what I wanted to do. And you just write whatever comes up. Even if it doesn't make sense to you in that moment, don't worry. The idea is to just get anything out of your head and put it onto paper. I feel silly writing this down. I feel stupid. All I want to do is achieve happiness. All I want to do is achieve peace. I just want that person to look at me the way I look at them. Anything, literally anything as silly as that. Anything that feels silly, write it out. Don't overthink it. The idea isn't for you to read this out publicly and let everyone know what you're writing. The idea is simply to get it out of your head onto paper. What this then allows you to do is see that, oh, I'm angry today because of that, and I wanted to feel that way. Or perhaps for the first time ever, you can be face to face with that emotion and see, oh, you did feel angry. And rather than suppressing those emotions and pretending that they don't exist, at least you find an outlet and you put it onto paper. So try that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to list a few questions and a template below for you to follow along. So follow that template if you want to get started. But the idea is literally to take a deep breath in and then start writing. Do not overthink it. The more you overthink it, the more you're going to try and resist, the more it's going to get harder. So even if it's one line saying you feel sad today because XYZ lied to you, or you got told off, or you didn't achieve what you wanted, or you got the bad grades, whatever it is, just write it down and then leave it as it is. If you want to revisit it, it's there. If you don't, that's also fine. But at least it's out your head and onto paper. And believe me, the more you do this, the more you practice, the more you can get those emotions outside your body and onto paper, the more it's going to be a healthy outlet, and more you're going to be at peace with yourself, and more you're going to be able to accept those emotions so you can move forward and achieve all those goals that you want. So keep going and don't give up. And just before I finish off, I also want to mention, if you feel angry or frustrated, another great way to journal is just literally get a paper and just scribble. Literally get it all out. It doesn't matter if it makes no sense, just get it all out and then start journaling. The reason is, when you're angry, trying to think logically, it's not going to be helpful, and you just want to get that anger outside of you, right? So just scribbling on a piece of paper in itself is great. And then after that, maybe you want to journal about, I feel angry today because of XYZ. So those are my tips for journaling, my benefits, how to get started. I hope it's helped. And if you have any questions, any more in-depth detail, drop me a message. I'll be posting some questions below in the link for you to kind of get an idea of what questions to ask yourself. So have a go and subscribe.